Moose is saying, hey, look, that last time, you know, the ball hit the ground. Now Ned's having it that with him. Seeing some frustration here.
Probably wants to know why he got thrown out as quickly as he did. I read Ned's lips. He said that wasn't even close to being a strike, and you know it.
And strike three call. 3 straight pitches.
3 words later, Billy was, "You're out of here, Billy." Ejected from the game. And before it was all over, Brian Price came out and put in his 2 cents as well. To no avail, of course.
That's hit into the right field corners and a home run. Yeah, look, I thought it hit the railing just with the way it shot back into the crowd, and it is a home run. Huh. Well, Ned's convinced that it was something else. Again, it's hard to, I mean, Ned just got ejected. It is hard to prove one way or the other whether it hit the foul pole. The only thing you can prove is that it hit the railing.
As Jason Hayward goes down swinging on the ball in the dirt, and something said between Matt Wieters and home plate umpire Chad Whitson. And we'll see Wieters pointing to the outside corner and then pointing again, and he gets tossed. So Matt Wieters, the Nationals catcher, has been tossed out of the game. Wieters really giving it to him, but Matt Wieters out of the game.
And I don't know what just happened, but Andy Green is in the face of the plate umpire, Trip Gibson. And I imagine he's been ejected. But Andy is hot about something. Maybe it goes back to the Myers play in the top of the inning. But he's been ejected. Pirates have made a double switch. We'll go to the 11th inning some afternoon in Pittsburgh.
2-2. Outside corner for strike 3, and Reddick doesn't like the call. And Reddick turning and facing Drake as he backpedals back to the dugout. It looked like Drake just told him, and Drake just ejected him. Josh Reddick just got tossed from the game, and now Reddick coming out of the dugout to say some more. A.J. Hinch coming out in front of him as Reddick feels like there were 2 pitches in that at bat that didn't go his way that should have.
During the break, Larry Boa, Cameron Rupp, they were both arguing with the home plate umpire Carlos Torres. And Boa yells out again there.
You can't miss that pitch. You can't miss it.
And then Torres threw him out of the game. And the reason they're arguing is because of this pitch to Charlie Blackmon. Now the runner was going. You see pitch cast presented by Mazda was right smack in the middle of the strike zone.
The all-time list.
Almost got to chase that.
He did go around. The first base umpire, Ramon de Jesus, rings up Pujols.
Mike Scioscia trying to protect Albert Pujols on that one. Albert not happy at all. Mike Scioscia not happy at all.
Scioscia's been ejected.
Did he make a play? That is strike 3. Nolan upset now, and he just got tossed. Come on. Pat Hoberg from 120 feet away just threw out Nolan because he threw his bat. That's a joke. He rung him up, and he spiked the bat, and he immediately got thrown.
Nolan threw his bat towards the dugout mad, and the first base umpire, Pat Hoberg, threw him out of the game.
Came up and in, and that's a strike, and there's Duvall again now. Duvall saying it got him on the finger, and they're going to take a look at it.
And they're going to ring him up just like Patrick Diblahan. Well, now there's some jawing coming out of the Reds dugout, and I think that's why Vanover came over there.
Devin Mesoraco appeared to be hollering something at Chad Fairchild.
Well, he's very angry still, I think, Mesoraco is, over the strike zone of Fairchild with Drew Storen on the mound. Who got ejected, I wonder? Did somebody get tossed out of here?
Devin Mesoraco may have gotten ejected. He's taken off his gear. Yeah, I think he did. Never saw a thumb from an umpire. Tucker Barnhart's putting on his gear. Devin Mesoraco's been ejected.
That's awesome. Now Jeff Bannister has just come out of the dugout, and he's having words over there at first base with Stu Sherwater. Interesting, because Bill Welke, the crew chief from third base, tried it all the way across the diamond to get over there and make sure that this one doesn't get out of hand. Bill Welke breaks it up, and as he did, Bannister got one last shot in on Sherwater.
I think Chase Utley might have just got thrown out of the game. Chase was talking with Ramon DeJesus, the second base umpire, about something. Maybe it was about the infield fly rule call, and all of a sudden he threw Chase out of the game.
Very rarely do you ever see him get rung because he's always so quiet and subtle about his arguments. The ejections come when you do, like you said, show an umpire up. Nobody would have known anything was going on there if not for the ejection.
Makes a lot of sense.
3-0 pitch, and that one came way in. And did that get a piece of him, or is it ball 4? Warnings have been issued regardless. So it must have gotten a piece of him. And now here comes A.J. Hinch. And Jeff Bannister's coming out as well. What? It goes as a hit by pitch. Both managers out at the same time wanting an explanation.
Well, the Rangers have had who knows how many hit in these games. They've been hit, taken their base. Carlos Gomez has been hit multiple times. So I'm not sure exactly what Marwin Gonzalez's problem is. He didn't even get hit hard.
They say that sometimes in lifetime you can't make everybody happy.
No, I guess you just can't.
In this case,
you
can't make anybody happy.
It's a 1-0 game. It's not a likely spot for a pitcher to throw it at hitter. Who knows? You know, one thing you don't know up here is exactly what's going down on the field. What it appears like up here may be entirely different down in both dugouts. So best thing to do is just comment and maybe not editorialize.
Well, last night we saw Steve Buechele ejected from the game. And that was after a 4th inning incident that boiled over into the 5th. Now today, Jeff Bannister has been ejected by Trip Gibson, the first base umpire. And so he's going to continue to get his piece of flesh here as he works on Bill Welke, crew chief. And Welke ultimately will go back to second base. But Bannister's been ejected. Looks like Banny now ejecting Trip Gibson as best he can.
The ball hit his uniform. Hardly even touched him. That's one. Drop your bat and go to first base.
Kinsler looks at a ball outside, 1-1, and now he's been thrown out of the game. How about that? All he did was look at him. Wow. Angel Hernandez apparently has had enough of Kinsler. He's thrown him out mid at bat, and he threw him out after a ball was called.
All Ian did was turn around to look at him to see if he was going to call it a strike, and he didn't like the way he looked at him.
And the former Ranger now has been ejected from the game.
Oh, now Brad's gone
Brad's
too.
been tossed too now.
All he did was look.
Oh, jeez.
The 3-2. Does he go around? He does not. Bases are loaded.
And Scott Service, he wants it to be a swing. He thinks it's a swing. He doesn't understand it.
He's pretty hot about this too.
Now we'll take a look at it.
He just got heat, by the way.
Well, his pitch is up and in. He starts his swing early. You have to because of the velocity of the fastball. And then you have to decide whether he was a swing or not. And that's what Service is not happy about.
And now Gibbons is John with the home plate umpire, and Gibbons just been thrown out. Lance Barksdale has thrown him out of the game. Gibbons obviously questioning the strike zone as he was walking to the mound. So Loop walks Souza to force in a run. It's a 3-2 ball game. Lance Barksdale, home plate umpire, has thrown John Gibbons out of the game.
Well, Molina does not want to get run. What's to prevent Brebbia from taking his time if the batter doesn't step out? Matheny can afford to be run, not Molina.
He just got hit to load the bases.
Now they're saying that he offered at it, and they're going to call him back.
Wow, that's a big call. Joe going out to talk to Chris Conroy at first.
He just ejected him.
And he just got kicked out.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah, I think Joe's saying, I don't care where his bat is, what it looked like from you, but he's diving to get out of the way of that baseball. There's no way he tried to bunt that ball.
Well, they just hit Jimenez, and this game has long since gotten out of hand.
Warnings have been issued now.
And now Ryan Presley's first pitch almost got Rosales. And there is John Tumpane. Here comes Torey Lovello.
Boom.
Torey Lovello is ejected. He's trying to find a way to wake up his ball club, and he's using every club in the bag.
Face full of ivy.
Echeverria. He was thrown out, and you saw the umpire heard something Pilar said, and then John Gibbons comes out, but it's too late as Pilar's been thrown out of this game.
I'm with you. I didn't see a pitch that he was. It's obviously he was questioning one of those pitches from Chris Archer.
Whoa. And that is Canely throwing behind Cabrera, and now Canely has been tossed. And Joe Girardi darts out of the dugout right to home plate to discuss it with Carlos Torres.
Joe's going to get his money's worth here, and he might go as well.
And you could say he's upset because there was no warning given, and now Girardi has been kicked out. Michael Fulmer hit Gary Sanchez. It certainly looked intentional. There was no warning given. And now Canely throws behind Cabrera and gets tossed.
Yeah, Joe's taking his case to the crew chief, Dana DeMuth.
And I believe you could see Joe Girardi mouthing, if you warn them right away, nothing's going to happen.
Yeah.
You can see him saying then you should have thrown Fulmer out.
See, this is a retaliation. You don't want anybody picking on Gary Sanchez at this point. He's the meal.
Miguel Cabrera was actually super animated about, hey, you have to protect your teammates when Michael Fulmer retaliated.
Wait a minute, here we go.
Oh, here we go at home. Romine and Cabrera get into it. Punches thrown, Romine getting into the gut of Cabrera. And now both benches are cleared as Romine and Cabrera at the bottom of a pile. And both teams storming for them at home plate.
When everything seemed to calm down, Cabrera and Romine had a few words, and it escalated when Cabrera pushed Romine at home plate. And Romine's pleading his case, so he's the one who pushed me. I was just defending myself. Yep. Yep, I had a feeling he was going to be out. Betances will bat in Judge's spot.
Ooh, and Dellin Betances just nailed James McCann in the helmet. And both benches are going to clear. Dellin Betances is saying, I did not do that intentionally. You see Betances yelling at him. He said, I'm not trying to hit that guy. I'm not trying to hit that guy. But obviously, given the context of this game,
Well, Gary Sanchez said, come on out here if you want it. He's trying to protect his pitcher. Now, Carlos Torres, the home plate umpire, didn't react right away. He didn't throw him out. So we'll see what goes on from this point on.
Now, Victor Martinez is trying to get over to Dellin Betances and discuss it with him. That is scary.
Yeah, it is.
That hard in the head. And you saw Dellin Betances immediately react, saying, I'm not trying to hit that guy. It's a 6-6 game. The Yankees are in a playoff race.
I was about to say before that happened, the main thing is to try and win the game from this point on.
Exactly. Now that you've tied it up and had all the drama, you would think the last thing Betances is trying to do is hit someone intentionally.
Well, I know what Brad Ausmus wants. He wants Betances out of this game.
Here's Todd Frazier. Frazier is hit by the pitch. And now he takes a couple of steps. And Wilson and Frazier are going to join. And here come the dugouts. Well, another hit batter. So I assume Wilson's going to have to be thrown out of the game here. We'll see. Uh-oh. Pushing and shoving now.
These boys want to fight, man.
Yep, they do.
They want to fight. They don't like each other right now. There ain't a whole lot of push. They want to fight. And the umpires, they can't hold them back either. It's going to be up to the coaches to hold these boys back today. Brett Gardner's upset.
Oh, he is hot. Gardner has to be dragged away.
That's Marcus Timms, former Tiger, dragging him off.
Marcus is doing his best to keep Gardner away from the pack.
So that means Gino's gone and Alex is gone.
Wow, was he calling strike 3 and changed his mind, or what is going on?
And Clint Hurdle has been ejected from the game.
Boy, you can see why.
It's been a really erratic zone tonight from Paul Emmel.
Shonrod is out in left field going, why is it only a strike when I'm hitting?
So Clint Hurdle ejected.
El Yuli's his Twitter handle too, El Yuli 10.
Wow, that's Alex Cora down there. He just got tossed.
Papers went flying in the dugout.
Yeah, he snapped. Well, Alex played long enough, and Laz Diaz has umpired long enough that I don't think there's a history that would, from Alex Cora's playing days, that would turn into a situation where he gets ejected as a coach.
Laz is one of the most liked umpires in the game.
Someone's been tossed out of the game. You could tell Marley was
another young umpire, man.
Yeah, it was Brad. He was chirping from the bench, and it didn't take long apparently to give Brad the heave-ho. Yeah, but if you get thrown out that quickly, man, you got to come out and at least put on a bit of a show, don't you? For Brad?
Yeah, you would think.
Or at least, you know, get an explanation or.
After this pitch.
Oh, okay.
Nice play by Headley. Goes to second one, back to first, and the ball is dropped by Headley. So Cano, not running well, will reach. I mean, Segura was clearly out of the baseline there. Clearly, I mean, he was running on the infield grass. They will ask New York, well, how do you see that with the naked eye? Right. And they're not going to make a double play call.
I don't understand.
Now Joe just got thrown out. Well, Joe's got a beef here.
Hundley hangs on, went back to the slow curveball, and Stratton gets his 8th strikeout. Peralta has been ejected from the ballgame. Ron Culpa runs the freight train off the tracks.
I think initially David had been fined for slamming his bat to the ground in anger. Culpa pointed at him, which is usually the indication that that's going to.
George on the move again. Alex swings through it. The throw is high, and Springer has himself a stolen base. We're going to get a Interference called on Bregman. That's going to be a double play. Alex Bregman apparently interfered with the throw by Brett Nicholas in crossing over the plate, so Springer will be out at second.
A.J. Hinch, an ex-catcher, out there having a talk with Chris. There was no contact, but he did fall across in front of home plate, which is usually the key for some umpires to call it.
See Chris Siegel pointing right away. Springer originally was safe, and Alex was well across the plate. Uh-oh, Joe West got it right in the...
And he comes with heat and gets another one. Adams still hollering out. Home plate umpire takes a look over, and now he's talking to him. You saw Adam hollering out at Pat Hoberg, and Buck wants...
Yeah, he threw him out. Well, but you can see that coming. You got a guy that got rabbit ears.
I think Adam Jones just got heaved.
I mean, what hurt your
Jerry
club?
Davis coming in from third here to get in the middle.
To support the guys. Been a great season. Been a lot of fun.
There's a called strike 3. Braun is rung up, and he is not pleased with the home plate umpire Mark Ripperger on his way out. 1-0 Brewers. We're in the bottom of the fourth, and Braun takes a strike.
Same pitch. Same pitch he got rung up on his first time up.
Payoff pitch. And Braun strikes out. And now he's been thrown out. So Braun, barking at the home plate umpire, is tossed immediately.
Apparently he said something. Let's check it out. Said a couple of magic words. I think that's what got him. If you can read lips.
9 so far this year. And 18 in a third innings, and strike 3 called on Gomez, and he's a little upset by it. Gomez not upset by the strike 3. He's upset with Mike Estabrook.
Carlos Gomez was just ejected from this game. Now, we saw yesterday, last night's game, he was very upset about, that's going to cost him a little bit right there, but he was very upset about a call on a check swing and ultimately was called out. So it's a little bit, I think, of the carryover from last night, because he threw his bat last night, kind of slammed it down. Now Carlos Gomez very disappointed in this call, and when you start to have them back-to-back, a couple of games, that's where the frustration will really start to build, and always that opportunity for it to boil over.
No swing. 2-2. Looked like Mike Malinsky nailed the call. Paul Molitor thought he went. And Paul Molitor's been ejected.
Watch the barrel. Watch the barrel.
That time the wrist broke, and it should have been a third strike. Paul Molitor's contention with Marty Foster is you should make that call.
Always dangerous hitter with a lot of power at the plate, and another close pitch does not go the Red Sox
and that one needs to be called.
And Farrell just got thrown out, and understandable. I mean, that's a 2-1 count, bases loaded, a lot on the line here.
I'm not sure if it was Farrell or Carl Willis who got tossed. Might have been Carl Willis. That might have been Farrell when he pointed back to Willis, telling him to stay in the dugout.
This is Sam Holberg's MO. I mean, there's only 6 umpires in Major League Baseball that give the low strike less.
Strike 3 call on a high slider. So Chapman disagrees, and he may have a legitimate complaint. He certainly did on the second strike.
Thing that really is bothersome, that right there. He's looking for somebody to throw out. He took his mask off, and he looked to the dugout, and he threw out the A's hitting coach Darren Bush. And he'll get graded positive for those. Melvin came out to protect his hitting coach who had already been thrown out.
First pitch to Donaldson is in there for a strike. Donaldson thought it was off the plate. I don't think I'd be arguing with the umpire in the 18th inning. He's probably a little bit on edge.
Yep. Oh, he threw him out.
I'm with you.
And the Blue Jays don't have any position players, though. Montero's the only one left.
He's the only one. In the 18th inning, you know the fuse is short.
So Marvin Hudson throws out Josh Donaldson after one pitch here in the 18th.
So nobody out for Chapman.
Well, now here we go again. Wow. What is going on here? Whatever. This is a one-way conversation at Chapman. I don't know. I wonder if he just said hello to Gratterall.
He threw Chapman out.
Are you kidding me?
He just threw Matt Chapman out. Really, the second time today, there's been a little heated conversation. So interesting stuff here at the Coliseum today.
We also start short one more player, Justin Turner. After this pitch get called a strike, the slumping shoulders, a little bit of a gripe right there, but he's going to go back maybe and look at the video. And just now, all of a sudden, he gets tossed with a little barking from the dugout. He said, "You threw me out?" Maybe he didn't say much. Maybe it was other guys, but he's getting attributed for the griping. Justin, maybe I should have thrown you out, but Dave comes out to explain what maybe voices he was hearing from the bench. And a lot of times, Justin's out. Oh. Sometimes, I'll tell you what, down on the big league bench, you'll have a teammate who has watched it come out from the video room as you're coming back to the bench. He screams at the umpire. The hitter gets attributed for the verbal abuse, and sometimes they get the wrong guy.
So we'll take a look at how it started. Giolito walking off and saying, well, whatever he said. And as he's walking away, that's when Gabe Morales gave him the boot.
Well, that's too bad.
Well, then in an effort to minimize whatever damage was done, Rick Renteria came out to defuse the situation, and then he got the boot.
Well, you could have bet on that.
Yeah, he was out there, absolutely.
He wasn't going to leave till he got thrown.
Right.
The manager waiting for the home plate umpire to come back to the mound. They asked him where that pitch was at. Yep.
Yeah,
and
so
has
been
been ejected.
Out.
Can't argue balls and strikes, but you knew that he was going to come out and wait for Rackley to make the visit so that he can give him his peace of mind.
Strike three called. Now looking at a fastball, and that ends the inning. But a damaging inning for New York, and Jeanette's just been thrown out of the game. There was a pitch earlier in the at-bat Jeanette was not happy about, and that was strike three. And so Jeanette dropped the bat, spiked the helmet.
All the while they're arguing at home plate, and the lady comes in to sing God Bless America and stands right beside all the chaos that's going on at home plate, and she begins to sing. The argument stops. The umpires take their hats off, look out to the flag in center along with Brian Price. As soon as the song is over, they go right back at it.
That's got to be in a movie.
Pitch. 80th pitch of the game for Graveman. Called third strike. Jake does not like it, and he is out of the game. Riznik does not like that call by Ramon De Jesus, and he was quickly ejected from this game by the home plate umpire.
Tension's running a little bit hot here after a pretty good stretch in Seattle. Things not going the Astros' way here in Oakland.
Ooh, strike three called on Rua. You can just tell there's been several of them where Zunino has caught the ball and then moved it into the strike zone. When the catcher's doing that, it just tells you the balls aren't strikes.
Bannister was ejected for arguing balls and strikes, perhaps from the dugout, or simply using a magic word or two.
And he walked him. And that one just missed. Oh, man, he's just been thrown out of the game. Ausmus was jawboning with Quinn Walcott as he was walking out, and now McCann getting in his face. Was it McCann or was it the skip that was thrown out?
I thought it was Brad that was thrown out, to be honest with you. I don't know for sure, but it looked like Brad was probably questioning the strike zone of Quinn Walcott here today, which you can't do.
apparently it was McCann because now Brad has been thrown out.
Right, and you can kind of hear Brad through our microphones talking about he wants the same strike zone as they're giving to the Cleveland Indians, and Brad on several occasions continues to point toward the Cleveland dugout. He just did it again.
Runner goes. It's ball 4.
Wow. 4? No way.
Elias Diaz looked toward the dugout.
Are you kidding?
Which way? You're asking Bill Welke down. I mean, the Pirates.
This isn't close to being a ball.
He's gone. Clint Hurdle just got tossed, and you can understand why. I mean, that pitch looked like it was dead right in the middle, and Clint Hurdle ejected by Bill Welke.
Carapazzi said no way. Well, Robbie said no way, but
yeah.
Carapazzi said you did go. Robbie said his piece. Whoa! We got thrown out of the game.
Well, that's another situation where, again, you'd like to see him check. And I don't think it's that hard to do that. And instead, you end up throwing him out of the ball game. And to say that he's important to the Mariners would be an understatement,
yes,
especially with the way that he's been swinging the bat. He's so important to them. And Scott not happy about it at all. Now you have Manny in there trying to get Robbie out of the way.
That's a huge loss.
And you can tell that these games are really important to the guys, and they're up there competing. And, well, you and I have had this conversation. Ooh, he called it a ball. Martinez was headed to the dugout. Lackey's got to be careful.
Yeah,
be careful, John. Runners take off, and a base hit. Coming around third and scoring.
He may be gone.
And Lackey is out of the game.
Yeah.
He went right after Jordan Baker.
Yeah, it almost looked like Contreras was going to try to block John. And John's got to keep his head. He can't get ejected from this game.
And now Contreras is out, and he spiked his mask, and it hit the umpire Baker. And Wilson, you got to be careful, man. You're going to get suspended.
You got 2 weeks left in the season here.
Baez trying to corral him. Dave Martinez is out. It's 2-1 Cardinals, but the Cubs have lost their battery, and John Lackey's got to go back to the dugout here.
Yeah.
Don Mattingly comes out with his scorecard, and he and the home plate umpire Ryan Addington again going over the scorecard. This was a point of contention and a heated one last inning, and Mattingly's still not happy, and I think he's saying that's 2 times, and he's been tossed. And you knew he wanted to be. He's been upset with Addington and the substitutions all night.
Tindy at third. And a shot there. And Cobb thought he had strike 3, and he's upset. And you can't blame him. Boy, that was a great pitch. That is a great pitch.
How do you miss that?
And now I'm thinking it must be Kevin Cash has been ejected from the Rays dugout.
Who got run?
Oh, Logan Morrison. We're just getting word that it was Logan Morrison who was ejected.
Call third strike. Marwin's going to get tossed as he draws a line in the batter's box where he thought that pitch was. I don't think he saw any strikes in that at bat.
Yeah, that second strike called on him was borderline. It's been a rough couple of days for the Houston Astros offense. That is off the outside corner by quite a bit.
Even the one that's a strike on our MD Anderson strike zone, when we see it from the side shot,
yeah, it's below the knees.
It's below the knees. So 4 pitches in that at bat to Marwin, and not one was a strike. And he's out. Apparently AJ was tossed as well.
Why not fire the boys up a little bit?
Well, this was the play that ended the bottom half of the 7th. Evan Gattis, and it does look like he went around. Will Little, the home plate umpire, said you swung. He didn't ask for help. He made the call himself, but it sure looks like Gattis went right there. And A.J. Hinch wasn't happy about that. Also didn't like one of the earlier called strike calls on Carlos Correa. And Hinch got himself tossed. He was arguing from the dugout with Little, got himself tossed, then came out to have his say, but A.J. Hinch out of the game.
Bautista thought that ball was off the plate inside. It was a slider. He was called out in the 5th inning, and now he's been ejected. Chad Fairchild, the home plate umpire, has ejected Bautista from this ball game. And Fairchild called him out on a borderline pitch in the 5th, and now he has thrown out Bautista after he's called out for a 2nd straight time.